Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to where you are currently listening to us today. I am Raisa, the Chief Director of Climate Educate, and because of some last minute changes, I will be your host for today. Today we will be launching our ICALP project. Yeah. So ICALP stands for Integrated Climate Change Action Learning Platform. So it is one of our major achievements in Climate Educate. It is a digital learning platform developed by ATO Climate Educate, which is a self-paced and designed and aimed to accommodate learners from different communities and different age groups, and with the overall goal to empower climate action by providing general scientific literacy on climate change. So we have spent years working on this project. As far as I remember, I think since 2020, and there have already been preparations. And now finally, after all those years, we can launch it to the public and use this as an essential tool for teaching climate education. To start our program, we have two panelists to talk about climate education and share specifically our experiences here in climate education, working on climate education. So after that, we will have a demo for you to see the platform, how to sign up and what awaits you there, what you could learn, and then we will wrap it up from there with our final remarks. And of course, for our listeners, if you have any questions, just wrote it directly in the chat. And if we have enough time later, we can answer that. And during also the panel, we can also answer questions. So now I will introduce you to our panelists. The first one is Rashida Abdul Qadri, our current Climate Educate Director for Partnerships and Engagement. And she's working very hard to expand the visibility and outreach of Climate Educate and build new partnerships with other organizations. And the other panelist is our very own ATO president, Carl Alonsacay, who will also, after this, give us a tour of the platform. So yeah, hello, Rashida and Carl. Welcome, and really nice to see you here. I have a few questions for the both of you, just to share to our listeners our own experiences as Climate Educate members on our achievements and also the things that we've realized and we've learned from all our offline and online initiatives in the past, and how we see Climate Educate as a really good platform on reaching communities, and also how ICALP will also help on this. So for my first question, Rashida, based on your experience doing non-online initiatives or online initiatives under ATO Climate Educate, which of the common challenges have you seen in how climate change is taught in your school, community, or group where you belong?
Thank you so much, Raisa. Hope you can hear me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Thank you so much, Raisa. And I'm so happy to be here today, to launch the ICCALP, which you've been on for a long time. So going into schools for non-online initiatives and sometimes our online initiatives, of course, there has been several challenges, especially here in Lagos, Nigeria, and other parts of Nigeria that I've been to. First and foremost is, whether we like it or not, climate change can sound a bit so big for some people, things that they can't see, they feel they can't see, they feel they can't see something that it's new. So it could be a bit complex. And since if you look at climate change, it's quite an interdisciplinary subject because it cuts across so many. So when you're talking about science, you're talking about geography, even sometimes ethics. Climate change can be really, and I'm trying not to say ambiguous, but at the same time, it cuts across so many subjects and it can be really complex. So sometimes this complexity comes with a lot of challenges when you go into these schools, because you really need to bring it down, break it down for people to be able to understand. So I can say that one of the challenges is the complexity of the subject. Another challenge that we have faced on several occasions is limited curriculum integration. Especially here, there's nothing like climate change as part of the topics on our curriculum. So when you go into schools and you're telling them, okay, we would like to inform your students about what is happening with climate change, they look at you and like, what are you talking about? So because they do not understand that curriculum is not something they're used to, so we usually have challenges with that. Another issue is political and cultural barriers. We have seen even some of our politicians who have said climate change doesn't exist. So sometimes because if we are to go into those schools to actually inform the students about climate change, the teachers will have to speak with their parents and, because of what they have heard on social media from certain people saying that there's nothing like climate change, you often find yourself being, we always face that backlash of no, 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 please, I don't want you to put such into my children and things like that. So many times you have to you want to go and teach the students, but now you have to speak with the teachers, speak with the parents, and this can be really, really rigorous. Another thing is there is no resource. In most of these schools, especially when you go to those schools, those communities that are vulnerable, there's really nothing. After you must have gone teach, no resources for them to actually follow up. So we usually face that challenges because they don't have the necessary tools, nothing like textbooks that talks about climate change, nothing like digital resources. So these are some of the challenges I have faced when I go for NOIs or OIs. And most importantly, for government schools, I think this challenge comes a lot with the government schools because of the bottlenecks. You have to take permission to enter the schools, and by the time you go, you have to go to the school board, submit a proposal. It can take a lot of months because people don't still believe there's anything like climate change, even though it's right there in their faces. So it takes months for you to get approval to enter the schools. So these are some of the challenges I have faced over time when it comes to teaching climate change in schools and even sometimes in our communities. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Rashida. These are very insightful observations, and these are also for sure shared with other communities and other geographical locations. And for you, what do you think is like a significant step or a way for us as climate educate or like an NGO or a group or a climate group to do, to help at least navigate these problems or facilitate or overcome these problems, on our using our own capabilities, yes, as a group, as an organization.
Okay. I think what we're about to launch is going to be really fantastic for, it's going to be like at least a problem solver for most of these schools, because now people can come on, and once you have an internet connection, you can come on a platform and you can get, and because we are going to break this very complex topic into simpler ways for them to understand, and I think it's going to solve a lot of the issues. And because after going into the schools, you have taught them, because usually there is really no continuity. They can go at their own leisure time, go on this platform, learn about it. And not just you talking about it, they are going to be seeing lots of infographics, lots of storytelling, because now they can relate it with what is happening in their own local community. So I think the ICCALP is going to be a good platform to help us. And of course, whether we like it or not, we can't take government policy away from it. We need them because it's important they start to integrate climate change, climate education as a topic into the school curricula, right from the primary school to the secondary to the tertiary institution. It is important. And of course, advocate. We need to keep talking about it. We can't just keep quiet, so that it creates a lot of visibility and awareness. We keep advocating, we keep breaking it down, and we try as much as possible, if it's possible, let them understand this in their own local languages. This helps a lot of understanding. You're saying, you're translating those very ambiguous terms, because whether you like it or not, climate change comes with different terms every year. and sometimes it's very difficult to keep up. So it's important to start breaking these terms down to in languages where the local community can really understand. I think these are some of the solutions we need to look into.
Wow, thank you so much, Rashida. Yeah, that's very helpful. Yeah, especially I also agree, especially with the localization, because that's also a very good way on really to reach people, and also, of course, they're reaching out to government officials since they also have the resources and the support, yeah, that we will need. Yeah, now I want to go to Carl to share more about our climate educate experiences, challenges, and what other climate related topics do you wish were talked about more in schools? Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Loud and
Okay,
clear.
good. Yeah. Well, it has been a very long journey. I mean, those who have been in the project team have witnessed how um, rigid and tremendous the efforts that everyone has given for this platform. So this is a very important milestone for the project team as well as the communities that we have worked with in the past almost a decade now, like 10 years actually, for next year. So like to give everyone the idea of how this platform was actually conceptualized, it was first was proposed by our former and late director for education and advocacy from Brazil, João Pedro Eboli, who proposed a platform and also a curriculum for us to have this kind of uniformed approach towards climate change education. And he has always proposed a fair and open and inclusive climate education for all, because I think we all know that education is a very vital tool when it comes to delivering social change, and also climate literacy is a very crucial aspect of delivering climate change education and effectively delivering climate action in our local communities. So in the past in the past decade, I mean 9 years, I would say. Of course, like we've been engaged with like several communities in Nigeria, in the Philippines, in Brazil, in Nepal. Each location and each community has their own, fair share of issues and problems, and also the context varies. So it has been a very difficult experience, I would say. Like especially, I was really involved with like coordination with the coordination, and I think some of us who are here today, like some I can see Swarai and Uda, and we've worked with them for like the past 8 years. We've seen how difficult it is to do coordination and considering the time zones that we have, and also we're doing remote volunteer work. We're not paid for this. Like most of the funding that we got was back in 2020 when we got a funding from and support from the Climate Reality Project Australia, and that's how we got into the idea of materializing integrated climate change action learning platform. This platform we're launching today. So yeah, and like the lessons from that is basically compiled into this platform. And one of the introductory course that we have compiled was made from the efforts and the contributions of more than, I would say, 30 volunteers from all over the world, engaged in like multiple disciplines and varied interests. So this is really a really outstanding and output, and of course it's a milestone. It's a great milestone for the project team, and we look forward to deliver it to our future online and non-online initiatives later on, which will be emphasized in the upcoming months. So yeah, we really look forward to further share this with everyone.
Wow, thank you so much, Carl, for that walk down memory lane. We could really see how long we've come and all these lessons and experiences integrated into this platform that we've worked on for years. And now, since you've both already answered my follow-up questions really clearly, so I would go to one more question. that is more personal for the both of you. How do you feel climate education connects to your daily life or your local environment? Yeah, you could start, Rashid, if you want.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a great question. For someone like me who stays in Lagos, which is a coastal area, it's climate education helps in many areas because can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So it helps in many areas because if I'm in transport, you're looking at it, it affects me when I'm taking transport. I'm thinking, am I supposed to take probably my own car or just join the public transport in order to reduce emission? I'm thinking about it, okay, because I work in public health, there's no way you can remove climate change from what I do. I'm looking at, okay, disease patterns, how is climate change affecting disease patterns? I'm looking at the weather because now I'm looking at the weather patterns when it comes to heat stress. Today, there's so much heat. So whether you like it or not, it comes into your subconscious for you to actually prepare. So it's affecting you, it's affecting your daily life, it's affecting your local community. Sometimes you look at it, okay, would there be floods when I'm going to work? Okay, which way should I take? These things come into play as you every day of your life, you're thinking about. And because you have that sort of education, you're able to prepare well, you understand? And you're not just doing it for yourself, you're also, you're educating the people around you. Because if something happens to them, of course you'll be affected. It's not just about you alone. So you're educating them about what is happening and why it is happening and what we should do, the action you should take. And here in Lagos, there usually a lot of floods because when it rains, it can be really massive and when there's flooding, it affects your work, it affects school, it affects these. And if you're not careful, we've had a lot of accident because of flooding. People are not prepared. They feel okay, I can go to do this. And in the middle of it, they are caught and it can be really sad. So as you're thinking about it, and you're also, in as much as it's not like you can do so much, but the little you can do, because here in Lagos, some of the reasons why we have floods is waste management, improper waste management. People are throwing things into their gutters, and by the time it's blocked, whether you like it or not, water will always move. It will always find a way to move, whether you like it or not. And once you have blocked its path, it will take another path. And some of the paths will take might not be favorable to you. And before you know it, a lot of things are happening. So definitely it affects my daily life and of course that of my local community.
Thank you, Rashida, for that. Now, Carl.
Can you please repeat the question again? I'm so sorry. Like I'm doing multitasking at the moment, so.
No problem. Now, on a personal note here, how do you feel climate education connects to your daily life or to your local environment or to what you are currently professionally and personally pursuing? Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Raisa. I think because I study sustainability science at the moment, so it's very vital. Like it's more of like a medium of how communities can understand it as well as connect to the knowledge that we're creating. Like we tend to look at like basically delivering climate education as if we're like we're the teachers basically, but sometimes we tend to lose that that connection with communities because we stand to be as the one that dominating the knowledge that we're creating and delivering the knowledge. But I feel like it should be like equal and how I see and how it affects my work right now, and also like my career path is like in a personal level, I want to make it very inclusive and fair, and basically that's what is needed right now. Because if we want to further and advance sustainability actions or environmental actions from around the world, everyone should be involved, not just people who has the knowledge or the expertise. And I want to like to really emphasize this that sort of epistemic justice, like because most of the time we tend to to stand like in our communities to be the ones who, oh yeah, we got the knowledge, we got the expertise, but it shouldn't be like that. And there's a lot of case studies already that has proven that top-down approaches to climate adaptation or any related initiatives tend to lead in failure or maladaptation. So this is like a perspective I want to share with everyone, and hopefully this is something that we want to um, deliver through our platform, that climate action is not led by anyone, by people in power, by people who has the expertise or by the knowledge, but by everyone in the community. So yeah, like in a personal level, that's how I see it, and this is the kind of motivation that I'm always thinking about and reflecting about when pursuing this advocacy. So yeah, those are my thoughts about your question.
Thank you so much, Rashida and Carl, for touching upon these topics on how climate education or climate change is very ingrained in different areas of our lives, and also for raising these concepts on epistemic justice and inclusivity. So all of those are connected as well, and because every one of us have each own experience of climate change and how we deal with it. Okay, now we will be moving forward to the next part of our program, which is the demo of the website here. And yes, Carl, I'll give the floor again to you.
All right, everyone. Thank you, Raisa, once again. Please give me a few minutes to set it up, and then I will show to you briefly how to use the platform.
No problem.
So hello, everyone. Again, welcome. So this is the fruit of our pet efforts and a lot of initiatives and contributions from our esteemed volunteers from around the world. And here it is, the Integrated Climate Change Action Learning Platform. So this is a very new website, and we have to acknowledge and also to give you a disclaimer that there will be some few functional errors in the website, but we tend to still address this, and we promise you that we are trying our best to make sure that the platform will be open to everyone, and as well as this can be used by anyone, regardless of of background or ability, or also of educational attainment. So first, I want to maybe navigate you quickly. So as you can see, this is a very like aesthetically, we want everything to be attractive. And as you can see, it has been like developed through the support of the Climate Reality Project Australia and the Lord Mayor's Charitable Foundation from Australia, Melbourne, Australia, to be exact. And one of the courses that we're offering right now is the introductory course to climate change. And this is open to like anyone who wants to, register. And in order to enroll in a course, you have to log in. All right. So I have to apologize that there has been like a functional error at the moment, but we will address that as much as possible. So if you go to a sign up page, you'll see that you'll be asked for your first name, last name, and your username, and then your email, password, and password confirmation, your gender, your date of birth, and then your country. So after you register, you will go immediately to the course, and you will see that it has 3 modules. You'll see it later. I'll show it to you. But first, about us. Basically, this is just the introduction of what the platform is. And then if you go to the learning resources, we have some um, uh, additional resources that you can see here. And basically, these are external resources or internal resources that we have developed. And a guide, basically, we provide you like how to use the platform in general. So it's free and it's open for everyone. And like as I mentioned, the courses that we have can only last like more than 23 hours, so it's very short. And it has 3 modules. It has the first is the introductory to climate change, the module 1. Module 2 will be uh, how to tackle climate change, and then 3 responses to climate change, and then third module is responses to climate change. So the contents of this course has been co-developed together with our advisors and as well as our volunteer contributors. So yeah, this will be used soon, and we tend to further address some malfunctions in the website, but as much as possible, we want to utilize and maximize this, and we also want to um, launch this in a mobile app in the future, and also to make it more feasible and also flexible for especially for communities and schools that have problems with connection, accessing internet, for example, or if they have accessibility issues. So this is still on the progress at the moment, but the website is already a final output. But we will provide more details later on through our website. You can go to climateeducate.weebly.com, and then there's an introductory page there, and then you'll see the exact modules and the contents that we'll be offering for this platform. So yeah, we'll be adding more courses here later on. So if you're interested as an organization or an association or basically a professional organization who wants to work with us, you're more than welcome to do so. Just go to our website, and then you can send an inquiry about your intention to use the platform. So yeah, and we hope to hear from anyone who is interested, and we'll get back to you. So we encourage everyone to follow our social media pages for more updates.
Okay, thank you so much, Carl. Yeah, since we have a few more minutes, if there are any questions, even if that's addressed to our panelists or to the ICALP platform itself, you could send us here in the chat. I think there's one. Okay, yeah, here there's a comment from Uda. That's a question. There are barriers to entry in schools. Most are systemic. Yes. That is true. There are nothing anymore. Okay. Then if you have any questions that will come up later, or in the future, then you can just send to us via our website, as Carl said. And there is a contact link there for inquiries. Okay, next we will go to the last part of our program. Now I give you Darling Bernas, our Climate Educate Associate Director, to give the final remarks.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so for my closing remarks, of course, I just want to first start with thanking everyone for joining us today for the official launch of the ICCALP. Thank you also to Carl and Rashida for sharing your thoughts on climate education. And this moment marks a significant milestone, of course, for the ATL Climate Educate project, and we're incredibly grateful for the support of our partners and efforts of our volunteers and all people behind the scene who made this possible. So ICALP is more than just a platform, it's a step forward in making climate education more accessible, inclusive, and action oriented as we keep on believing that environmental education will always be the most practical and efficient way to build the gap between people and nature. Yeah. It's transforming and it could bring radical change, necessary change that the world needs. So really hope everyone can explore the platform, share it with your networks, and of course collaborate with us in advancing climate literacy and environmental education. We really hope to really touch local communities on this platform. And thank you, and we look forward to seeing more people engage in this platform. And congratulations, of course, to the team, to Climate Educate Project. May we have more climate-oriented achievements, more people to reach, and more people to educate. Thank you so much, everyone.
Hey, Raisa. Sorry, I think you're muted.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Carl. Yeah, thank you for that. Yes. So thanks, Darl, for that final remarks. And before we formally close, yeah, just to repeat again that if you want to have to partner with us for to do all this ICALP activities and also not only about ICALP, but also other community activities about climate education, yeah, we are open for partnerships. You could access our inquiry link in the chat that I put there on our website to express your inquiry. And again, on behalf of our project team, we give you our deep gratitude and let's work together for an inclusive, open climate education for everyone. We wish you all a pleasant weekend. Thank you so much.